Oh, hi, this is Lisa, and this is day 41, and our 40-day program ended about a week ago, so it's been a week since I've sent out a message, and I felt I just wanted to check in with you, and I wanted to just express a couple more ideas. We have our new virtual classroom here, which I'm all excited about. Thank you, Bill. And it's just incredible. I love the messages that have been coming in because people are expressing that they're in a whole new place. That it's just that they've seen how practical it is to shift out of patterns, that you don't have to stay there at all. You can emerge from conflict the second you're aware of it. You're calling on your guide. You're living in the light. You're really just knowing yourself as love, as joy, and you're staying in that place. But what I also know to be true, just from having done this work for a while and having lived it myself, is that there's usually a lot of people that slide back into fear and old patterns. And usually it's worse than when you started, when you slide back into the old place. And those people don't usually write in. So I wanted to just, have a video and just one more message, just if you're out there and, you feel like, oh, I felt so good while the 40 days was on and while I was getting the messages from you and I was being consistent, and now it's just like I'm back in that old place again. And so I just wanted to tell you I understand that, and there's nothing wrong. There's, really, it's just old patterns. They pull you in. They're so strong and they've been around for so long. And so what I wanted to really just start with this is that perfect love casts out fear. And so this is the place now where I want you to know that when you hold a steady, consistent vibration and you let that be your dedication, all fear starts to dissolve. And I wanted to use this image here. In the 40 days, I talk about horizontal and vertical perception and standing in the holy instant and allowing yourself to just be connected with God. And this is the best description I've ever seen in a visual way to see what these two worlds look like. So Jesus says it's impossible to see two worlds. Now the human being thinks you live in one world and there's a whole mix of emotions, that you're living in a location, and in this condition there is a whole range of different emotions: love and fear and joy and sadness and depression and gratitude and happiness and freedom. And it's not true. It's impossible to see two worlds which have no overlap of any kind. There's literally no overlap between these two thought systems. And what he says is that perception is consistent. You see the world that you believe in. Whatever you're focusing on is what you're going to see, and you're going to believe it's real. Most people have located themselves in fear, that they're living in this place and they're getting the effects of being located in the center of this thought system. So the transformation then is to move over from this thought system to this thought system and to make a commitment to not go back. So Jesus says in the Bible, don't go back, don't look back, forward ahead. And so there's so many parts in the Course in Miracles that talk about a light entering the darkness. So you have constructed yourself based on your false beliefs, a whole world, and light comes from outside and penetrates into this little bubble of perception. And he describes it in the clarification of terms under Jesus Christ. It says there's no need for help to enter heaven, for you never left. So you're already home in heaven. You're already here, actually. But it says, but there is need for help beyond yourself, as you have circumscribed by false beliefs of your identity, which God alone established in reality. Helpers are given you in many forms, although upon the altar they are one. Beyond each one there is a thought of God, and this will never change. So what happens is a light comes into the darkness. Jesus says it's a single light, but that's enough. So into your world, where you were afraid and lonely and depressed and sick and whatever story you had, something came into your awareness that suddenly there was a new possibility for yourself. It came in the form of a book, a workshop, a teacher, a song. There was a light in the dark. And it shakes up erroneous perception. So there's a section in here that miracle principle number 37, a miracle is a correction introduced into false thinking by me. So this is Jesus. And in the plan of teachers, God sends his teachers into this dark and hopeless closed system of sickness. He sends his teachers in, and it becomes a hope, and it starts breaking up erroneous thinking. So it says it acts as a catalyst, breaking up erroneous perception and reorganizing it properly. So the bubble starts to shift, and what he says is when the bubble starts to shift, your world starts to shift, and this is where everyone gets very afraid. Here in the gap, he calls this a period of disorientation. So this is the place where everyone starts getting very afraid. You start losing your jobs, you start losing relationships, old friends start to fall away. And what almost everyone wants to do is fix something. They want to go back into the bubble and fix the thing that's dismantling. But what Jesus is saying, no, let it fall. Let's have this whole thought system dismantle. We're trying to get you over here. So this is what the Teachers of God Foundation does, is that we're really inviting people to make this journey. So what's your point of view? What is your point of view? Are you standing in the center of fear, or are you standing in the center of love? And Jesus says, you will know where you have located yourself by one simple thing: how do you feel? That's it. How do you feel? And so every single moment you're doing a check-in on yourself. That's what this video is. It's a check-in for you to take a temperature. Like, hey, how am I feeling? I'm not feeling so good. Okay, well, in that case, you must be over here. You're in the wrong place. Get over here. And seek for the one and the other disappears. And so every moment you're training your mind systematically to remember your identity in God. You're remembering that you're not alone, that the power of heaven is with you, that you're here as a light in the world. And what the Teachers of God Foundation is doing is taking people first through that initial transformation, the 40 days. And then we're inviting people to a 6-month process. And again, nobody needs any of this. You have everything you need. You're already home in heaven. The world's already over. So, but if you feel that, you know, you really do need additional encouragement and support and help, like we do offer a program and it's available. But what we're doing is moving people from here to here. We're inviting them to stand consistently in this place. And then there's another call. There's another call where now we're saying, would you like to be the light that comes back into this bubble, in other people's bubble of fear, and help them emerge from conflict? Because this is what Jesus says is needed. Like, I need you. I need helpers here. So then you say, yes, that this is what my life is about now. And so we're taking people through this process. There's a facilitator training. And then we say, hey, how would you like to come back over here now to people who still think they suffer? And you now become the light for them, and they begin the journey. So what's your point of view? You should be standing in here. Beautiful thing. And so we take a stand on but one side today. We side with truth and let illusions go. We will not vacillate between the two, but take a firm position with the one. We dedicate ourselves to truth today and to salvation as God planned it be. And that's really all it is. It's that simple, is that you take a stand now on one side. You just make a decision. And Jesus says in the Course in Miracles, why are you not rejoicing? Why are you not rejoicing? The door's open. All you have to do is walk through it, let this one go, and that's the end of the story, and you're living over here forever. And from this place, you still look upon a world of suffering, and you suddenly do want to help. You want to be available to others in the same way somebody was available to you when you believed in your own suffering. Suddenly there were people that were there for you, and they were saying, hey, you can change your mind. There's a different way of looking at this. And so this to me is the best way that it's described, because there's no such thing as levels, circles, lines. There's none of that. But this, to me, this gives me a really good description, is love is all there is. And the way Jesus describes it in the Course is that you have circumscribed a ring of fear with all your false beliefs and patterns. And this is where everyone lives. So you're living in this place here and thinking it's real, and you're getting effects of your beliefs. So you actually are seeing cancer and problems and sickness. So the journey is to get you back to the center. And everyone's just kind of, this place here, this line, he calls it a veil, a thin veil. But as you get closer to this line, as you're making this journey, this is where everything starts dismantling. And I laugh because I've been through it. And I know that if you can just go through it quickly, just rip it off like a Band-Aid and just say, hey, I'm going. I'm going. This is ridiculous. How many more years am I going to keep circling in fear, trying to find some door where I can just sneak in and not have to go through the fear? He says, no, you have to go through your fear. You have to go through your worst fear. So the 6-month certification program, it is challenging, and it requires a huge commitment. And we have a lot of signups right now, a lot of people that want the information. And what ends up happening is when people get the actual details and the commitment that is required, it's like, no, this is not for me. And that's fine. But for the people who have finished the program, who really did the 6 months, who went through it and made it their dedication to stand on one side, their entire world changed. And now they're back. Now they're saying, okay, oh my God, I see the unreality of the world. I see that I don't have to suffer. They can't even remember that old pattern. And so now they're saying, yes, how can I help? And so your I am. So start listening to your language. That really was one of the main things in the 40 days. Start listening to the words that you're saying and the thoughts that you're thinking. What's the story you're telling yourself? 2 of the most powerful words, for what you put after them shapes your reality. So you start really having a commitment to find out where you're locating yourself in every moment. That's it. That's all this is. So I'm sick. You've located yourself in fear. You're in the wrong place. Like, I'm angry. I'm angry that so-and-so did something to me. Where have you located yourself? What's your point of view? You're a point in a thought system, and now you've just located where you are, and now you can make the decision if you want to stay there some more. Because you don't have to suffer anymore. You just move yourself out of there. So all day long, you're just being aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, the judgments that you're making. And Jesus says a miracle worker can only bless. So that's the place where you are going to end up. That this is a required course, and everyone will take it. And you end up being in a place where you know yourself as love, and appreciation becomes your only response. That you really are just only living in total appreciation of others, appreciation of yourself, appreciation for the guidance that is with you. And here is the new perception. Here it is. And you are going to get the effects of your new perception. Here is the new perception where everything is bright and shining with innocence, washed in the waters of forgiveness, and cleansed of every evil thought that was laid upon it. So nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So if you want to continue, and you feel you need just a little more encouragement, that we're starting on March 15th. And you can go to the Teachers of God website and just sign up under certification. Just put your name and email. I'll be sending out a message about in a few days, in a week. And it's going to start March 15th. You're going to get 1 email a week plus a video. There's going to be 1 monthly video call. There's monthly check-ins. And there's 1 weekly phone conference call. It's going to be Thursday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And it's just an incredible way that, you know, people are able to just stay in that consistency. So I love you. And our final curtain call.